loser side, we've now got a match that can happen between Luxray and Titan Killer if they want to go ahead and get started off screen. And we've already currently got RP4 and Just Dope playing one another as we are getting ready to get started into over here. Winners finals between Llomomo and BW Styles. Now, maybe my memory isn't serving me correct on this, but these guys have not faced off in this in winners finals before, have they?
They have not.
I don't think so. This will be their first kind of matchup in this way, shape, or form. Based on what we know, how are you thinking this is going to shake out?
Now, my factual side is telling me that just statistically and just based off of the tools, I would like to say that Mega Man wins this. He has really good mid-level zoning skills with those pellets that can really interrupt characters that are a bit as big as DK, and he has really good boxing tools like with his fair and jabs and as well as his back air. And he just can edge guard the heck out of DK, being so big and able to be spiked so easily. But literally time and time again, all we see is Llomomo just shut me up. He just, every time, he gets such a crazy grab read or a crazy tech punish, or he just gets everything. And Llomomo is just so skilled at, like, he is similar in the sense to Luxray, where when Luxray was kind of at his best and kind of dominating the scene for a while, he was just so consistent with everything, and he still is. But Llomomo is honestly just a little bit more at those consistent reads, as well as just those consistent punishes too. And that's something that I think is very valuable when you're a character like DK. Anytime that you're at a deficit and you're able to punish your opponent, it's going to hurt way more than when it would if you were in the lead, and just because of the rage and all that. So I think that just that alone is enough for me to say that I think it's either going to be pretty even, or Llomomo just may kind of run away with this at least at the start.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. Looks like there's a pretty simple discussion happening. It's going to be PlayStation 2. They're going over to Pokemon Stadium to try to see if they can rock this out. This is all ready to go. Let's go ahead and hop right to it.
3, 2, 1.
That's the wrong PS2.
Yeah.
I was laughing last week, I think it was, when Luxray, he made that joke. He was like, "Oh, let's go to PS2." And then Llomomo's like, "Okay." And he goes, "Hold a minute, hold up, I got the wrong PS2," and just sends a picture of a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
It was so funny in chat. I was like, "What are you doing?" But the ding dong off the top, not gonna kill. This stage is a bit too big for that at that percent. But look at this. Does not kill BW Styles initially, and that's what I'm talking about. Llomomo knew that he did not have to get off ledge there. He would have a much easier time just going for the edge guard at ledge and really punishing BW Styles off the edge really early on. Only 69% on Llomomo this early. And he's just going to live for so long now unless BW is able to get that type of gimp punish with that air dot, or the spike.
Spike, yep.
And this is gonna be really rough, I think. This is this is exactly what I was kind of talking about before, and we saw BW kind of pretty much even percents, but all of a sudden, for some reason, Llomomo's like, I'm just gonna go crazy, and he just takes him and just throws him off the edge, and we're like, all right, it's over, right? And Llomomo knows, no, it's not over. It's never over, and just edge guards him until he's gone. Oh my god, so intimidating, and it's gonna be another edge guard situation for Llomomo. The patience on this man. Ooh, that's so unfortunate. The bomb there, finally taking out.
Did it cause him to lose his grab on the ledge?
Yeah, essentially, because it wasn't just a single hit that hit him. It was a multi-hit. So you have to be aware of the fact that you're not going to get hit once on that. Is that you're going to...
Oh, I
thought he footstooled him. That's going to kill. Yeah, there it is. That up B is so good. As soon as you get caught in it, there's really no way of you falling out of that anymore, especially if the DK decides to move forward. And kind of, BW has just been playing catch-up since that first cargo throw, man. Such dangerous stuff, and it stinks because, for BW at this point, his zoning gang is very useful for gaining up this damage, right? But you'll see that even though he has the percent lead right now, and he is doing pretty decent, as soon as Llomomo gets any sort of inside hits on BW, like any sort of close range damage, whether it's a grab or just some sort of regular up B shield or anything like that. Finally gets the down air, kind of shutting up Llomomo's stock lead finally. And we are seeing him to grab that saw, just throws it. Smart move from Llomomo, just kind of using it and then getting rid of it. You don't want to play like too like sneaky or anything that you don't want to like overextend yourself in a way that you aren't aware of how to do. Like DK is not Mega Man. He does not always have access to these tools, and it's something that a lot of players, they kind of just try to do what they can with these tools, and they end up getting punished too hard for holding on to it for too long, because it does restrict your movement and things like that. But we're just gonna see him throw it, and finally BW is able to catch up and kind of get this percent lead. Finally dodges the monkey punch, but again, Llomomo is going for that up B after, because you really don't have that many options of like what to do. Like you don't really have a shield at that point. You'll get poked super easily. You can't jump because they'll hit you. You have to just let go of shield and run away. That's really your one option. You have to run away hard, and then if you have a move like Mega Man where he has that nice F smash, you can kind of get that F smash. You don't have to back away as far. But finally, a really commanding lead from BW, and look at that, taking that game one after being down a whole stock pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing turnaround in this one. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like right around here is when he started taking the percent lead, and like we just saw there, he does get the F smash on that up B from pretty decent distance. He did not just hold shield or anything. He did not like worry too much about it, and that's a punish that I think a lot of players kind of forget about, is that you really can't. You have options against that up B. It's intimidating, but it is a move that you don't need to fear that much. You just have to respect it just enough by backing away, and then F smash, just charge F smash, because he won't make it that far. And they're running it straight back. Now we're seeing a kind of different first stock here. However, I don't want to say this too early, because as soon as I say that BW's got our lead, it's just gonna come back and bite me. Barely rolling out of that up smash. Read the ledge roll option to the right, but did not get the left. Tried to cover all of it. It was very close, but not yet. Gets the back throw. Not enough of it though. We tried to go for that armored side B, but it just did not work in the air that time. Not enough time before he was punished by BW Styles. Trying to go for that back air into catching the saw. Does not get either of those things. Gets hit away by Llomomo, but having him in disadvantage again. Similar to the end of last game was where we finally kind of see why BW could win this matchup and the set with Mega Man. And look at that. Finally respects it, but barely getting hit, spaced perfectly by Llomomo on both the grounding side B and the F smash. Literally hitting him with just his finger at the end of that. And stuff like that, like he now is at like 50%. So it was a very good way of getting back into this game. But even then, BW still has a pretty decent lead, and as long as he continues to keep the pace up of this match, as well as not giving Llomomo very many times to, like, act. You cannot be trying to run away from Llomomo and DK and give him too much time to act, because as soon as you do, he's going to eventually get those options where he's going to get the grab, where he's going to get the F smash or the barrier, up B, and it's just going to start all sorts of shenanigans that you do not want if you're BW. Got him in another edge guarding situation, and there's BW. That was a great bait with that full hop, making Llomomo kind of freak out and stall his recovery, so that he went lower. And because of that, BW just said, "All right, well, you're spiked," and edge guard with just a simple jump. And sometimes that's all you really need, is like, you just need to intimidate them a little bit with like a hop after you've been so aggressive. And as soon as you do that, it causes the player to do all sorts of things. Like they might stop, they might air dodge, they might do nothing, and there it is. That's a stock. Really good stuff from BW, like commanding. That was crazy.
Well, it looks like BW might really have, really kind of have this matchup, kind of taken care of. I don't know if Llomomo feels like it's a character type of thing. They are going back to the same stage, so I'm curious to see if that's going to enter his mind on something that he might want to change. But as we get to the end of that replay, just want to remind everybody that you can catch all of the replays right here at IPG_esports if you guys get a chance to. Check us out on YouTube. That way you guys will be able to see not only archived stream matches from tonight, but from all of our tournaments as well. It looks like they are back into the game, and they may have just said, let's go right back to it again. And there's the change.
Ooh. Bowser. Yeah, I think it definitely was a change that he needed DK. He's just like a tad too slow for Mega Man and does not have enough disjoints or projectiles of his own to kind of combat that like mid-range boxing. Now, Bowser's going to struggle from so much of these similar issues that Mega Man has with that mid-range zoning that I kind of talked about before the set had started. And the difference really is that Bowser has things like a mechanic called Tough Guy, where he pretty much has a small amount of armor that can be used on certain moves that will kind of just run straight through most of BW's attacks. And because of that, as well as Bowser's base running speed, it's very fast. Bowser has a much better time in the heavy department versus these kind of tough matchups than I think DK would, as well as having very much similar strategies to DK. They're both grappler heavies. They both are characters that get a lot off of throws. They get a lot off of their side Bs, as well as up Bs out of shield. They're just a bit like differently utilized, but that might be a kill. Good DI from BW though, does not DI straight up. And I think Bowser's one of his best moves is definitely that forward aerial. It hits forward 180 degrees. So if you're above or below him at like anywhere near, like just somewhat near him, it'll hit you like anywhere. But BW answering right back with his down air, getting that edge guard. And that down B also stopping the up B out of shield from Bowser, which is really interesting. Did not know it did that. And we're kind of just seeing a very close game. Both players just getting the damage they can. But I don't know. Like, I think this is going to be super hard for BW. Or not for BW, for Llomomo, I mean. Is that because he's still going to have the same issues. And for BW, he doesn't have to change too hard. Like, I could see BW struggling a bit if this is maybe Falco or maybe like DDD even. But even DDD has the same issues as both of these heavies. And I think for Llomomo, this is more so just he needs somebody that has more recovery options. Bowser can go vertical, a bit more vertical than DK ever can, and as long as you are mashing the control stick or the neutral B as you are going upwards. However, it does not seem to be helping as much as he would have hoped, as he does get down aired again in a similar fashion, and we are kind of seeing BW run away with it. Will he get extra credit? Gets the F smash, but misses. BW just knowing to back up just a little bit off of that and getting about 50%. However, Bowser can live for such a long amount of time that he may just be able to make it back into this game just solely due on the fact that he is able to live for so long. Even now being at 60%, finally gets killed at F tilt. You could tell that at the end Llomomo was looking for it, and now he's gonna try and make his way back into this with that side B into Flame Breath. And there he is, right back into it. 2 moves, pretty much. Finally getting the percent lead for once in this game. Going for the down smash. BW patiently waits it out and gets him back into another edge guard situation. Oh, that was so scary. Gets the forward throw. What will he do now? Goes for another down smash into up tilt. Ooh, gets the dash attack. What will he get? Oh, he's going for up tilt so hard. I can tell he's gonna go for it again right here. I can tell. Be careful. Oh, yeah.
Llomomo sticking around today.
Yeah, that Bowser switch paying off. And I think most of the things that paid off, like DK has a very similar in animation up tilt, but like you'll see right here, like those moves with this up tilt has a disjoint, and so just that move alone, as well as a lot of the range on a lot of Bowser's moves and that the speed of that F tilt, make him like just pretty much a better DK. Like he has that projectile with the flame breath that kind of tripped him up here.
Yeah.
And as soon as he saw that he was trying to re-land on the dog, he just knew that I have up tilt. Like you can't scare me in this situation. and he really had so many options there. He could have went for up smash, up tilt, up air, forward air, back air. Like all of those moves are just moves that will win Bowser the game, and I think it was a great switch for him. But I think that unless he switches again or he just like wants to stay with Bowser, he might have trouble again, similar to how DK was having trouble in that second game of his own. So we will see. I'm curious to see how BW adapts.
All right, so it looks like we might possibly have some results coming over on losers. I think Phil and Luxray may have just concluded their match in just a second. We're going back into this one, into game number 4 between BW Styles and Llomomo right now. Yep, and it looks like we're going to small battlefield. Let's get to it.
Interesting pick for BW. I know this was his counter pick, and I'm very curious as to why, because I feel like PS2 was just like, besides the fact that it's very neutral, I think that the wideness of the stage was not what was hurting him. I just think that he made a couple small edge guard or ledge get up options, as well as that small thing at the end with the trying to rebounce off of the dog. And I think that that's all it really was. Like, it wasn't a stage thing, and when you're giving Bowser less stage that he needs to move across, it makes it a bit easier for him to get around your projectiles, as well as use these shorter platforms to his advantage. And because of that, you're going to be seeing far more situations like this where BW is going to die a couple percent earlier. And maybe he's just more comfortable on the stage against this matchup. Maybe it's just like his own personal like, yeah, and that still may help him. But like, Bowser is a character that definitely does benefit from a smaller stage regardless of who you are. And maybe BW is willing to take that trade-off in size to maybe get more gimps with the edge guarding or more just combo damage with the use of these platforms, but so far it's pretty even. Getting more of these back throws though. Going for
no, turning it around right there.
Yeah, that's gonna, and that might be what it is, honestly, is that just because of the size of the stage, it just creates maybe a different percent window for these back throws. Because on like other stages, wow, what a ballsy parry. He was just so confident in that, because that up smash, if you get hit by that, it's 60, you're dead. And on top of that, there's nothing BW combat-wise can do to like maybe counter that like a hitbox, because that up B is, or that up smash for Bowser is invincible. No move will ever defeat it. Unless you had like Bowser up smash facing downward, like if you hacked the game or something crazy, Like he literally is invulnerable in it, and it's such a good move. But we're seeing BW living barely there at 160. Can he get more percent? Really good air dodge to stall his recovery, but forward throw is gonna take it finally. All right, up B there, and another up B. What we do here gets the back air. Flame breath here. Waiting on platform. Very nice patience coming out from Llomomo. Oh, he's got to recover here. Going high. Does not want to get hit by any of those. Oh, oh my goodness, that was so scary. If you're Llomomo, he had very small amounts of invulnerability left. And one thing you have to be aware of when you're playing against a Bowser is going to punish you if you ever try to hit his shield. When he, like, if you try to punish something out of shield from him, don't. Like, it's not possible. Because every single time, Bowser will just hold shield. He doesn't need to go for a parry, and then he'll either up B, he'll up tilt, or he'll grab you. And when you're at this percent, you're losing the percent lead and its last stock. You don't want to get hit by this. Will he die?
No.
Break the eye. That's perfect. He will not live another one of those. That was his only chance he had for that. Wow. Very scary stuff. Oh, will that kill though?
No.
Oh, so close. Oh, be careful.
I'm really afraid for BW. I mean, because Bowser just needs another move. Another move from Bowser will really do some serious pushback.
Yeah.
Oh, with the good!
That was so good on BW. He knew he could hold it for a bit, and on top of that, I think he just really kind of spooked Llomomo at the end of that. And as we can kind of see at the end, like we're seeing every single time at ledge, BW kind of approach that ledge and kind of got punished for doing so, right? Like you'll see a couple times here where he gets in there, but then no like big punish comes off of it. So Llomomo, I think, just assumed that here he would have read the timing better and maybe buffered like the A button or something that kind of caused that get up attack to come out. And then BW, as soon as he saw that, just knew he could let it rip and just took the game. So really, really, really good stuff on him to kind of just finally close it out. He doesn't have to worry anymore. It's over. He can move on. And so I think that all Llomomo needs to do is just shake it off, man.
Well, here's what's interesting. So we're going to kind of watch a couple of things happen here. Just if you're watching the stream, I'm in your lobby. Oh, good. So I'll definitely check back on that. Awesome. I really like Persona 5. My grab smash. That might be really interesting, Laura Papaya. Hope you do get a chance to hop in with us. So I took a look back at some of our results, and BW Styles has probably been in our scene since maybe 17 or 18, IDM 17 or 18. And I think highest he placed was, I think, second in a loss to Luxray a couple of weeks ago. Beyond that, usually a nice third or fourth, but he's also had some progression as well, coming from like fifth and ninth a couple of times, or ninth really, and then fifth or fourth a couple of times. So this has been some really great progression for him, because if we take a look at the bracket, guys, right now, BW Styles really kind of thwarting a lot on his way to this particular, grand finals appearance that he's going to have. Now, the only person here that I have not seen him beat beforehand is Luxray NYC. So he's had some matches where Luxray has gotten the better of him in those scenarios. But if I take a look back, I think there was a time he placed second, and he may have put Luxray into losers, and then Luxray eventually coming back for the dub in 6 ultimately. So no, I'm really curious to see how tonight kind of shakes out for him. I think he's got some really great momentum behind him right now. He's put together an awesome game plan. I think that he has really found his stride in the 2 platform stages between PS2 and Battlefield and Small Battlefield, where he's really able to do a great job at saying, great, I'm going to punish you. If you mess around with a character that is going to stay underneath me and I can use these platforms to keep you guessing on my spike, I'm going to do it. And if you mess around and you go low, I'm going to make sure I do my best to try to punish you every single time. Like I'm going to hit your hand. If you try to touch the stove, I'm going to hit your hand on it. So I'm really, really excited to see how he goes through as we are getting ready to check in on RP4 and Just Doki over on the loser side. But no, tell me what you're thinking about this Cherry right now. I think BW having some pretty good performances. He's not playing anybody that's had a bad game tonight, and that was the reason that he won. I think he's definitely had some really great wins tonight.
Yeah, and I think that personally, I think this is the best I've ever seen just BW play, and I think that that's kind of come along from lots of work in just grinding matchups, as well as just coming to IPG consistently, because while this is a tournament, it's also practice for off players. Yeah. And especially for somebody like BW, like he went from, like when I used to play him in bracket, one of his biggest call-outs that I need to call him out on was the fact that he'd always go for that up tilt, and as his kill move, or he'd go for like the back air a lot, like just kind of throwing it out. And he had such like easy to read habits back then, and this was only like maybe an IPG like IDM like number 27, so it wasn't even like that long ago. And just by the time I had started to leave for college, around like the 30th one, he had finally beaten me. Finally, I was the first Pac-Man he'd ever been able to beat in bracket. He was grinding it out for ages. He now has beaten Luxray and Llomomo a couple times each now, and he's also just beating out these heavy characters that, like, on paper, Mega Man is supposed to beat. And because this game is like a game where as long as you're better than the other person, you should win, I think that it's kind of true to say that BW is now able to contest with these players like on an even or like higher like platform, and we're gonna be able to watch these again on YouTube. So I'll let you take that.
Yeah, no, actually, funny enough, I literally am going to go to a match of his from last week in loser semis against Luxray. where I know things started to kind of get rough. We'll give some light commentary as we wait for the winner between RP4 and Just Doki to hop on in.